And we're back once again, only on Last Call. Last Call, the alcohol. Only on the lastcallpodcast.com. And he's been gone for a bit. Last time we talked to him, he was ranting and raving about Paul versus Joshua, and he may or may not have, after that fight, maybe given the DX salute to Jake Paul. But that's a different story, different day. We'll find out. But once again, I give you boxing extraordinaire, the man who sees all, who calls it down the middle, and he is a principled boxing podcaster analyst. I give you it's Manny Montreal. So Manny, let's start off here with the big news. That's right. It is Zuffa Boxing is coming to Paramount Plus January 23rd. It's finally happening, and as you were saying off the air, that it's more than just that. Like I read off a card, and I was like, this is kind of sort of like underwhelming. You think it's not as bad, so
Oh,
talk me out of it. Because right now I'm looking at this card, and for your debut, when it's Callum Walsh versus Carlos Ocampo and Sergey Bohachuk versus Rad Sabutayev, it sounds like, yeah, that's it.
so let's just examine it. And I'm not saying that it's a good thing. I'm just let's examine it. If you were to Google Tom Loeffler and something called 360 Promotions, it's a boxing promotion that basically had Kalen Walsh as their major signee. They had Kane Sandoval at one point as well. I believe they helped Shenard Bunch a little bit. But overall, their main attraction was Caleb Walsh. They were doing a lot of the Irish crowd, and they were doing good promotion for him. A small time promotion. Now, Tom Loeffler is friends with Dana White and has been on Fight Pass, all his events. Now, despite the fact that it's not, he's maybe doing 3 to 4 events a year. It is not the largest promotion. He was basically the only boxing on UFC Fight Pass for years. Caleb Walsh, also a boxer that before Zuffa Boxing was even a thing, that Dana White publicly announced he was investing in, that he is part of Caleb Walsh's team. So none of this is a surprise. He's been backdooring Tom Loeffler's 360 promotions for a couple years now. Anytime Tom Loeffler, like, hey, we could use an extra 10 grand in advertising or this and that, could you hook us up? Of course, Dana fucking hooked up his friend. And he's been kind of keeping this guy alive with his promotion for the entire reason of when he would pull the trigger on his Zuffa Boxing to basically absorb. Because I don't care who says what. That's it for 360 promotions. That's it for Hollywood Fight Nights. You're not going to see Tom Loeffler doing those shows anymore. If anything, you might see him working for Dana from now on. That's the first thing. The second thing is they're doing it at the fucking Apex. Now, it's a great fucking facility. I know fighters that have gone there and rant and rave about, the quality of the things that are offered to them. However, as a fight venue, it also means no fans. A small crowd, some VIP guests, a couple fucking Instagram streamers, maybe K Sanat and fucking Jake Paul's fucking cleaning lady, Danny Trejo, talking about Danny's tacos and like maybe an NFL guy or an NBA guy that I won't recognize, but a wave at the camera, and that'll be your crowd. Kalen Walsh's family, essentially, his crowd, and that's it. So there is no we do boxing for the fans. This is boxing for Dana. And this is the same way he's been doing his contender series. He likes having absolute control. That shit fight was shit. I want everybody executed after this fight. I want the referee to never work in Las Vegas again. That kind of shit. So that's what you're getting with this, extreme control, the dictatorship that he's trying to implement with his non-Muhammad Ali uh, fucking boxing league. Because that's what it is, by the way. I don't want you to confuse this with professional boxing. What Dana White is doing is basically another slap type of league, just that he's calling it boxing. And he's going to hire some boxing people to make it look like boxing. But don't kid yourself for a second. this will be an entirely Dana White product.
So what's the long-term plan for this? Because look, as much as a lot of people don't like Dana, he always has a plan. And when
No,
you
no,
have
this is if you do any Wall Street research, if you watch The Color of Money, if you like fucking Michael Douglas, okay, you've got a small iota that Wall Street's a pretty fucking dirty business, right? That it's not very fucking dissimilar from gangsterism, and that shareholders, because this is something new to boxing. You need to understand, boxing's dealt with Don Kings, with enigmas like Al Heyman, rich Jewish lawyers like Bob Arum, sheiks and princes from far off Arabian coasts. But we are not used to a corporate entity coming around and doing some mucky muck. And what I mean by that is Zuffa Boxing is in a very rare and dangerous position where for the next 5 years, they can just take fucking losses. They are not burning actual money. They are burning investors' money. Dana White could run this motherfucker into the ground for the next 5 years, still be a billionaire. Same goes for all the major investors. The crux of this, the majority of this, is not The Rock's shares or Tom Brady's shares. It is you and me, the fucking assholes out there that were like, oh, I'm going to get 10 points on my shares because I hear they're going to be signing a deal with Paramount. And then they sign the deal and your stock prices go up. And this isn't just another form of gambling. This is just another type of casino running the show. Dana White can afford to take a loss and gamble, and which we all know Dana likes to gamble, and run Bob Arum's budget, Eddie Hearn's budget, mostly everybody's budget into the fucking ground. And the main reason why is because, oddly enough, guess who the major shareholder is of Zuffa Boxing?
Ari Emanuel, Nick Khan,
Keep going.
The Rock.
Who do you think? No, it's a nation.
Oh yes, a Saudi prince of a Saudi investment, fund. Yes, I know. You've been on that for a while, so
So the Saudi investment fund is what really is running this. Therefore, they can run this at a loss. What we are seeing here, the puppet master came, he played his song, and then he watched who danced along. For a while, Oscar De La Hoya was more than happy to dance along and cash those checks and dance and grin. But then eventually he realized, oh, wait a minute, I've got absolutely no control. When this motherfucker tells me he wants this, there's no me saying no anymore because I've already cashed the last 3 checks. And now he's looking at me like I'm stupid and he's going to cut me off for good, which he then did. So they're in a very fucking strange position where they can fucking starve boxing, starve fighters, starve fans of fights we need, of fights that fighters need to pay their bills. I feel like Crawford Canelo was the last time we would see fighters get paid mega purses. I think those days are gone. I think Dana White got into the Sheik's ear and he was like, you're overpaying for everything. If you let me handle it, I'll cut all the fucking unions out of it. We'll fly in some slaves from India. They'll do all the lighting and rigging. Hell, I've even got a way to save on cleanup costs because we're going to get the camels to eat the straw afterwards. And the Sheik realized, holy fuck, I have been overspending. You mean to tell me I don't have to give the guy that's selling me a Rolex $1 million just for selling me the Rolex? And Dana's like, no. And wait a second, I don't have to tip the doorman 10 grand every time? Dana's like, no. So Dana's basically ruining this for everybody because at one point in time, fucking Turkey was just fucking writing checks. What do you need? Let's make it happen. What do you need? That turned into, no, I think you're asking for too much. I think Ari Emanuel, that's a fucking really good name. But like it sounds like it comes from a certain fucking place, you know? Like it sounds like it'd be very ethnically centralized to a particular, very well negotiated people. Anyway, I digress. Saudi Arabia. We're gonna get you canceled, Chris. We're gonna get you canceled.
So on the flip side here, like we've talked in the past how usually you come out big, you come out swinging, you put on like a big, sexy fight. And Dana said, "Oh, we're gonna take over boxing." How much is this should be a worry? Like, yeah, the rest of the troop, the guys with top rank PBC, especially of course Matchroom Sport, they're not leaving yet. They're like, wait a minute here, we're not ready to jump ship. So how
Well,
big is it for?
deals have been made and people have to agree to deals because as great as the Saudis are at cashing checks, they're also good at dispatching fucking lawyers if you fucking try and renege or back out of something you already promised.
No, I know that part, but I mean, it's not like the rest of it. Like he was talking, oh yeah, we're gonna sign fighters. Guys are gonna come to us. And it's like, no, 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 no. They're still staying with Matchroom. They're still staying with Top Rank. They'll do a one off with the Saudis, but nobody's joining Zuffa Boxing yet. So
Well, no, because this is the mistake Dana made, right? So Dana walks on the floor of a casino or like the floor of one of his shows, and like everybody's happy to see him. Yo, Dana, Dana. Hell, I think if I were to bump into Dana, if I were to get more than 5 minutes with him to be able to talk to him, yeah, of course I'd tell him how I feel about some of the shit he's doing. Okay, and I'd be man enough to tell him to his face, and I feel like I could talk to the Boston in him. But if he was just going by with security and everything, yeah, I would try and get that pic. I would try and get the picture. The problem is Dana's confusing those people that are like, hey, and excited to see him, right? To get a picture with him, with people that actually think he's a fucking smart and good person. What those people are doing is trying to get something for their Instagram or just happy to be seeing someone fucking famous. What he thinks he's seeing is people that are like, wow, this guy's the genius of fighting. Most people don't even realize what he does at the UFC. Most of his fans don't even understand their own sport. So he's not going to come and fucking, into this with a level head, I don't think Dana's universe has been very common or, blue collar for a few years. I think there's moments where he goes back to the days where he had to punch a clock and he was worried about a paycheck. I'm sure that happens to him, but I think those days are long gone. And I think he thought, I'm going to go into boxing and everyone's going to see me as a rock star and the fucking billionaire genius that made the UFC what it is. He tends, by the way, when he says that, he tends to forget about the like 300 or so fucking stars that went through their fucking promotion in order to sell those pay-per-views. Nobody was tuning in to see his fucking bald head. The point is, Dana's failing he seems to think those same people that are excited to try and shake his hand and get a picture with him really think he's a fucking fight promoting genius and that he would obviously turn them all into billionaires. Despite the fact that people have their own fucking intelligences and an understanding of things. Like small example, people can go and Google on their own or look up when Dana said he was going to get rid of the sponsors from the fighters. He's going to streamline things, and this would actually put more money into the fighters' pockets. I remember the Reebok uniforms. They were shit, and they fucked up most of the flags and the names. But they pushed that objective, man. They got it out there. They got rid of all those. No more dude wipes. No more fucking palace.com casinos. It was all streamlined, and everybody looked the fucking same. Nobody made more money. You can Google it. They lost money on record. Fighters lost money. It's actually part of a lawsuit Mark Hunt was part of that won. But, facts. They fuck people up because they like to see a guy talk to Steve Will Do It and give him 50 grand because he blew it because he was on cocaine and he's a millionaire and he forgot that he fucking blew $50,000. So people like seeing that TikTok and him giving him $50,000, but they don't like seeing him fairly and pay his fucking employees. It's a society problem. So Dana thought he was going to walk into this a rock star, and everybody's treating him like he's no better than Jerry Springer. It's like when the Hollywood actor thinks entertainment Hollywood's coming to him, but instead it's Insider Hollywood or I don't know, Inside Edition, you know. He's not as cool as he thought he was. He's not as cool as he convinced everyone else that he is. Like Turkey thinks he's stylish. Like nobody tells Turkey, like, maybe wear a suit. Nobody tells him that. The guy's worn suits before, but every time he's on fucking camera, we gotta look at fucking Casper the Friendly Ghost. He's got sunglasses on. Didn't shave this week. It's okay. He's a billionaire. Everyone lick his ass.
Let's go with something that'll bring you more happiness. That's right. It's been a couple of weeks, but everybody is still, loving the Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul beatdown. Condolences to Joshua, who basically now had that tragic incident in Nigeria where he lost two of his friends in a car crash. Did he win this fight, though, in terms of his reputation? Because we talked about that. Like you were saying, unless he knocks that guy out in 3 rounds, everybody's going to say this fight was fixed. This was rigged. It was a
Yes.
6 round knockout. Granted, Jake Paul tried several double leg takedowns, and at one point was holding him like it was a slow dance at a high school prom. But Anthony Joshua still knocked him out, broke his jaw. By the way, I heard you try to take some selfies and do a crotch chop to the Paul brothers. I'm glad you're okay, but security didn't, chase you down. But, did Anthony Joshua help his career? Or was this something where you look and go, man, he went 6 rounds with a friggin' YouTuber?
Here's the thing. I am happy with the way it went down. Okay, not for a fucking second. Not for a second that fucking kid looked like a boxer. Okay, everyone else, Tyson, Anderson Silva, took the check, and we're like, okay, buddy, I help you out. I make you look good. You know, Anderson Silva's a good guy. Mike Tyson's got all the fucking meanness beat out of him, right? He can fucking snarl for a picture, you know, and quote an old quote and whatnot, but he's not that guy anymore. And they gave the kid a chance. Anthony Joshua has got a fucking 10-inch penis, and he doesn't give a fuck about Jake Paul and his fucking Disney money. He fucking sent that herpes ridden, fucking entitled little piece of shit to the fucking canvas like he deserved. This is what it looks like when somebody who's pretending to be a boxer fights a boxer. The outcome was exactly what was needed, necessary. Did it hurt his career? No. Did it help his career? As fucking much as I fucking hate saying this. Yes. I need you to get that HBO back in the day was built for me, and I miss the HBO days. But there hasn't been a formula since then. There was some Showtime days, but then that didn't really stick around long enough, okay? And even after that, there's been nothing since. This new generation has no idea who's what, okay? I got same thing when fucking this kid fought fucking Tyson. I got talked to by more people that don't watch boxing than ever. And the same thing happened for this event. And it made me realize, okay? Anthony Joshua, let's just talk about him on the fucking physical, what we could see on the outside. He's a fucking good looking guy. He's eloquent. He's tall, good looking, good complexion, fit, looks dangerous, can be aggressive, looks like any other kind of athlete, could be a Hollywood star. If you never knew he was a boxer and somebody told you he sold Gillette razor blades, you would believe it. The guy's versatile. The overall package is there. Boxing, and this guy's done shit in boxing. Okay? We never sold him to the entire world. Tyson Fury, with his antics, his dancing, his singing, and all his other bullshit, became a moderate star in the US, but nowhere near on the level as the Paul brothers. Alicia Baumgartner and Joshua both walked out of that event, and you can go ask Google. I don't have screenshots to prove it, but I know it for a fact. Both Joshua and Alicia have not had a boost in Instagram followers in years. Okay, both of them have been in the boxing world anyway, on the top of their game. They have the most followers possible. Well, son of a bitch, after this fucking event, they both fucking shot up numbers. They both became more visible. Now, sadly enough, because back to back to this, Joshua was in a fucking fatal car crash. He appeared on, now it's going to sound fucked up, okay? Because this is your country that's doing this. But you're better off appearing on TMZ than you are CNN. You could go talk for an hour to Pierce Morgan on CNN. It will not do you as good as 5 minutes on TMZ will. Between the TikToks and the YouTube clips and other people talking about it with them superimposed over it, between the fucking car accident and fighting Jake Paul, Joshua is now more of a household name. More than when he fought all of his titles, more than when he unified, more than when he was an Olympic fucking winner. It's fucked to say it, but it's the reality of things. It makes me believe that there needs to be a happy medium. The delivery of how we're delivering our boxing product right now needs to change. We need to borrow and look at Jake Paul's model, look at these other fucking streamers and YouTubers, the people that are actually having success with viewership at the moment. And we need to streamline our model more to that. We've always followed the other sports. Boxing's attempted to look a little bit more like football or to look a little bit more like the NBA and have an after show and a before show. And even the way they set up their commentators with 3 guys at a desk and 2 at the table and that. The way they're doing all this shit, the formula is dated. We need to change the structure and the way we're delivering the product in order to reach new people. We don't necessarily need sensationalism or stupid fucking people doing this shit, but it definitely made me realize we need to change the formula.
Should Anthony Joshua be given? Should Jake Paul be given credit? I mean, he went 6 rounds with
Yeah,
Anthony Joshua.
to a certain degree, yes. But at the same time, if you offered me $1 million right now, given my current situation, living in a fucking basement apartment, having to wake up tomorrow morning at 5:30 in the morning to make $30, I will chew off all of these fucking fingers on camera for you live if you wire me $1 million US in my account right now. I'll give you my right hand, all five fucking digits. I will chew them off and not get paid until I'm finished. Fighting Anthony Joshua, I'd walk into his first fucking punch, eyes closed with a smile on my face. There's nothing special about a fucking Disney child using his fucking bar mitzvah money to have a fucking night out with his friends so he can get knocked out by a black guy. This is a this is him going out in Miami on a Saturday night, trying to pick up a chick, grabs the wrong girl's ass, tells her he's rich, she don't give a fuck. NFL player walks over, I got millions too, cocksucker. Here's my 10-inch cock. Whack, right hand, out he goes. That's what this was. We basically saw his weekend in Miami and we paid to watch it. If we followed Dylan Dennis for a weekend, we would basically get the equivalent of this event.
I get it, but it's still, and I was thinking about this. He lasted longer than, you know, guys like Charles Martin.
Right, but I understand. But who else took the schoolboy, get on your knees, and act like I'm going to give you fellatio every 3 minutes approach?
Hey, there were some guys who just ran around the ring also for a round. I
No, I
mean,
understand. Run is one thing, but this kid came up with a whole new fucking concept. If I just get down on my knees and put my face in your crotch, the referee will break it up every time. You're too close. Let me put my face in your crotch.
I mean,
You're
as
too
they
close
said,
again. Go watch it. He does it at least a fucking 20 times.
still went
It
six
was a
rounds. I
genius
mean,
move.
look how many. I'm looking at at the record of Anthony Joshua, and there were times where guys lasted, let's see, 3 rounds, 2 rounds, not even last a full round. Gary Cornish,
Okay, hold
Kevin
on, hold on, hold on.
Johnson, two
Hold on, hold
rounds.
on, hold on, hold on.
Michael
I'll give you
Sprott,
some. I'll
one.
give you something you'll like. I'll give you something you'll like. Uh,
Uh-oh.
Cody Rhodes just fought the fucking dude with the hairy chest and the hair. The Scottish guy.
Drew McIntyre, yes, you're look-alike.
Oh, thank you. Fuck. Oh, fuck. I wish. I wish. I'd be getting laid a lot more than that. But the point I'm trying to make is those guys just recently had a match, right? And they had like three out of I don't know how it works, but they had three different
Yeah, there's
matches in one night.
three stages of hell match. Yes, I get it. It's for pro wrestling.
20
It's not the
minutes,
same
bud.
as, when
20
somebody's
minutes.
literally beating, breaking your
No,
jaw.
those two guys, they're not fucking mathematical geniuses. They were able to fucking put on a show for 20 minutes, and the people there were reasonably entertained. Jake Paul's a Disney kid. His brother's in this WWE shit. Like, I don't understand what you're having a issue. Like,
Because
I'm surprised. I'm
I get
legit
it.
surprised. At one point, Jake Paul didn't actually grab the referee and put him in between him and Joshua and did the whole Charlie Chaplin, like, try and evade him thing. Like, I think that would have been gold. And I'm surprised nobody tried handing him some sort of foreign object. But, we got what we got. I don't know what you're complaining about.
I heard from the grapevine, you and your date tried, to trash talk Logan Paul during the fight as his brother's getting his ass whooped. That you may or may not have taken a selfie of a prone, Jake Paul on the apron with you basically going, "You suck, bitch." I understand you enjoyed this, but
Well,
still,
hold on a second. Hold on a second, right? Are you on the team of the self-entitled rich little asshole?
no, I'm not of a
Or do
team,
you work for a living?
but I've heard
You
from
work for a living, right?
as a
You're going to
common
work
let's say,
tomorrow, right?
I'm
He's
just saying
not
as
he's
a
not for
common
you.
associate of us.
You're supposed to not like him.
I don't like him, but as Michael Monteros, We both know, both all three of us here don't like Jake Paul. Even he said, you gotta give a kid credit. He could have just taken the first big punch and gone down like you said. That's it. But all she wrote, he didn't have to go five more rounds taking an ass whooping. Other people
Well,
would have just
I
like
mean, okay, hold on now.
dive.
Hold on,
Take the
hold on, hold
dive.
on.
You already have the money. The check is
His
clear. Nobody
people,
will think
his
less of you.
people, his people have a bare minimum. Okay, they're okay with him. Like he literally looked like one of those little porcelain figurines, like he kept getting down on his knees. It looked like he was fucking trying to get under his pants. So doing that 20 times and surviving the 6 rounds until the guy literally blows your jaw apart into two places is somehow like if he would have taken the dive right away, even his people would have a hard time selling it. Now he's got people like you saying, like, well, look, he went at least 6 rounds.
But
Like,
nobody,
what?
even then,
But what do you
was it
think they
worth having
wrote?
like
You think they
titanium
were gonna
point?
write something different? Like, I don't understand. What did you think they were gonna write? Did you think he was gonna like write himself as the winner and like he was gonna stand with his foot on Anthony Joshua's chest? He doesn't have that kind of money. I'm pretty sure Joshua would have done it, but definitely not for fucking 60 million. Maybe for 120, 200. But he doesn't
I
have
mean,
that
I
kind of money.
understand.
As
I
great as
understand.
he is.
I'm sympathetic with you. You're trying to petition the Saudi prince to just exile all YouTubers to like Antarctica and freeze to death. It's not happening, but you're trying very hard, and I get it. You look at Jake Paul and go, "Oh my God, you're worse than almost like men fighting bears back in the
I'm
day."
gonna say this to you. Here's another possibility for you, okay? If you're Anthony Joshua, okay, or you're an Anthony Joshua fan, just pretend you're an Anthony Joshua fan,
Yes.
and you're gonna bet on this fight, okay? What's gonna pay you the most? Now, this is with the assumption that you're a Joshua fan, so you're not gonna choose any option where Joshua would somehow lose. But what would be the best option payout for Joshua actually winning, considering he was the
Third round.
he
There we go. Third round. It would have been perfect. It would have been all right. Well, you carried him for a round and a half, and then he.
I'm willing to bet you. I'm willing to bet you if we were to really do some fucking work here and investigating and spend some money and really devote our lives to this, maybe just maybe we would see some bets being placed that the fight would end around the sixth.
Look, I get it.
Maybe just maybe Joshua knew very well what he was capable of. Knew very well that like you know what I could make this go another 2 rounds. Maybe it's very possible. Like, why does Joshua have to get him out of there right away if he's in no danger whatsoever? Like, I like all these posts, like even MVP, Nikisa, and all that, man. Like, I really gotta hand it to them, right? They did such a good job saving face after the fact. They were like, "This is the most watched show. This is the most rounds somebody's done with Joshua since so and so." And like every positive fucking possible note they could have made, they made, except for the fact that everyone's neglecting to mention that nobody had Jake Paul ever winning this fight. Not the odds, not the betting odds. There's a couple of dumb YouTubers that, for I guess Instagram clicks, posted that they bet for Jake Paul, but we know that's not true. I just the whole thing was very I don't know how to explain it. Pointless. Because
I
that's
understand this
that's the
point, but you
last
know what?
it's the
He,
last time you see that kid fight. It's the last time you see that kid fight.
I don't know.
He's
I
not fighting
keep getting.
again.
He'll. I think he'll fight again. He'll dial it down a bit. He might take on
No,
Roy Jones
no,
Jr.
no. He's gonna listen to his brothers. Oh fuck.
I'm telling you, man, because you and I always say this here. There's always somebody who wants to see the next ass whooping. There's always somebody who wants to see the villain. And that's what Jake Paul is. El Gallo, the Rooster. He is the villain. He is the guy that you look and you go, ooh, hoo, 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 hoo. You still there, Manny? Well, that is all the time, unfortunately, we have. Manny's been kicked off. I blame the Paul brothers. I'll try to find out exactly what goes on. But once again, we come back here. We got a lot more going on. Only on, you can check him out once again. Manny Montreal. He is on Instagram. He is on Twitter, YouTube, all over the place. We come back, but we got a lot more going on here. Only on, it's Last Call. Last Call, the alcohol. Only on the last call podcast.com.